Steve and Michelle's wedding day is here at last.
Yeah.
So were you as Simon Gregson thinking, is this ever going to happen?
I think it's always been on and off and on and off and on and off. And then I think the last time when they said they were putting us back together, we were a bit like, I don't know if that's going to work, because, you know, you cheated on her with Becky. Why would she ever forgive you? She's not really the most forgiving character. But we are now so glad that they did, because, you know, we love working together and we have such a good relationship, both on and off screen. Hopefully that comes across. But we're very happy that they finally cemented us now, and, you know, hopefully there'll be no more on and off drama.
What's the fan reaction like? Have people been asking you, when are they going to get married? Are they going to get married?
Well, to be honest with you, everybody always just says how much they love them together and they don't want them to split up. And when they split up recently, briefly, when Steve had depression, you know, they were very much like, oh, please tell us they get back together, you know. And it was that kind of feeling that, you know, I think it ultimately is what's made us be put back together and married now. So
cool. So tell us about Michelle's wedding dress, because sometimes you interview actresses and they're like, oh, it was horrible. How did you feel about your look for the day?
I loved the wedding dress. I loved it. You know, I was hugely involved in choosing it. They like us to be involved with things like that, because it's very much about your character, and obviously no one knows your character better than you and the writers. So it's you know, to get you involved is kind of really a no-brainer. They have to kind of do that. And but I was very quick in choosing my dress. It wasn't any bridezilla or anything like that. I was literally, I think it was about the third or fourth dress I tried on. And it's kind of hard, because you do kind of look at it and think, what would I like? And then you think, yeah, but I'm not shopping for me. I'm shopping for Michelle. So, and obviously having to take into account the fact that they were getting married on a budget, and it had to look like it might have been maybe vintagey, so she might have bought it from a vintage shop and all of that. So, but I loved it. Yeah, I loved it. It was really comfortable as well. So.
Cool. So what's it like getting dressed up for a big day of filming like that? Does it sort of stand out as being more special than the sort of regular Rover scenes or something like that?
It just takes longer. It's just longer time in hair and makeup. You're like, ooh. It took me about an hour and a half, whereas we normally have 45 minutes. So it's, it just means longer time, an earlier call time, basically. But yeah, it's nice, because obviously you get to have your makeup a bit different, your hair a bit different, because obviously my character's trademark eyeliner and all the rest of it, you know, so that's kind of a standard everyday thing. So it was nice to have her makeup a little bit different and her hair a little bit different. So,
cool. Well, let's talk a little bit about the aftermath of wedding week, because unbeknownst to Stephen and Michelle, there's been a whole lot of stuff going on while they've been on their honeymoon. How do you think they're going to react to Liz's bombshells about Tony and the attempted takeover of the Rovers?
I think it's safe to say they're not going to be happy, you know, particularly Steve. I think Steve's, you know, not going to react well to that, is he? It's not likely that he's going to. There's a huge bond between Michelle and Liz, a huge bond, and they have a very solid friendship outside of Steve. It's not, you know, they talk about things that Steve doesn't know about, you know, so hopefully Michelle's going to be there a lot for Liz, and hopefully she'll be able to be a part of giving Tony what he deserves.
Now, a little bit later on in the year, we hear that the Connor family is set to expand. I believe Shane Ward has been the first announced cast member.
Right.
What do you know about your new family members?
I don't know anything about the new family at all. I know that they're cousins and cousins and uncle cousins and cousins. It's cousins. Cousins and cousins. Yeah, it's cousins, basically. I don't know an awful lot outside of that, really, but it is exciting to know that there's more Connors coming, because obviously I'm going to be the last Connor, really. Once Carla goes, it's going to be just me. So it's like, and actually Carla was married into the Connors, so I'm an original Connor. So it's you know, it's going to be nice, really, just to get the family back onto the street and secured.
Yeah. And Simon Gregson's real life dog is now starring in Corrie. How did that all come about?
Yeah, Cookie. Well, he just happened to hear that they were looking for a Jack Russell to be a part of the show, and they were going to give Steve and Michelle a dog, and the dog was going to be called Rover. And they were going to look for this Jack Russell, and Simon said, well, I've got a Jack Russell. And they said, really? What? Like? And yeah, so they brought him in. Brilliant. So Cookie is now Rover. And do you know what? She's just so cute. She's so cute. She's the cutest little thing. She just makes you feel so, sit you on your knee, and just, she's gorgeous until she breathes in your face. She's got the smelliest breath ever.
So she's a pretty good stage dog then?
She's brilliant. Yeah, she's fab. She really is. And it's nice to have her on set. It's nice.
Cool. And we must ask about the Steve's depression storyline, because obviously sometimes in soaps things are wrapped up quite quickly, but this one seems to have kind of been realistically ongoing. Although Steve and Michelle have had their wedding day, is that still a factor, Steve's depression?
Absolutely. I mean, he's got depression. It's not a quick fix, and he's not just going to be magically cured. And I think that's one thing that we've wanted to make sure that we did was be true to depression and to be true to the storyline. And so it's not been something that we've seen, oh, he's got depression, now he's better. It's had to be, we've had to see the journey. And just because we've got married and we've had a happy day doesn't mean that it's all over and done with. And there's still going to be twists and turns, and he'll have good and bad days, and probably be affected by things and all the rest of it. It's going to be something that you see, every now and again for a while, I think.